one here. The game plan is very similar for both teams here. It is to out team fight and out macro coming in for these two teams. But let's pass it towards the audience to cheer for their favorite teams.
Alright, so we will get straight into it. Now, value provided by YQ here. Not stealing it is not the biggest thing. They now have the exact timing of when the respawn will happen for this Crimson Golem. And this is where Hero will be able to make a better decision in terms of whether they want to aggress or not. Now, for the side of LGD, they have managed to secure this initial camp for the Spike Tail Fire Beak. So that's going to be value for the side of LGD.
It will be value, and especially when we talk about these few moments here, Fox did also pick up the Spike Tail Beast in towards his favor here. A bit of a tussle towards the top side as well for this potential Space Sprite.
Yeah, but they don't know that they have the mid laner in the form of the Cat Boom here to try and even out the odds. Right now, there's a lot of damage being laid down. Potential
and
first
on the moment though, the Longers go in for the engage their flash. Stalin coming in from Fox to pick up the first kill on towards JC here, giving them a bit of a cover here. But take a look at Queen here, looking for a potential re-engage, but is denied here with Hui coming in for the cavalry, forcing 3 members to back away towards safety.
And LGD, they're kind of fulfilling their win condition. One of the things you want to do is to win the early game, especially against a Cat Boom, right? Because Fox can actually go for the utility build. And with that being said, LGD secure 5,000 gold in terms of advantage. And this will also be a faster rotation. The gold sharing now is between 4 different members.
And to your point as well, right? When we talk about gold sharing, it's never easy when you are on such a immobile jungle like Hui here. So being able to get the first blood coming in from Fox, especially on towards a Cat Boom, pretty impressive stuff, I would say.
Yeah, because you literally have to walk your way. Not really a stroll in that sense, but with the move speed, definitely a little bit more apparent for the side of Clean because he's able to jump short distances. This would be beneficial for the side of LGD. Now, this is only the start, right? We need to see what kind of rotations LGD will make because Hero does know the timing on that Crimson buff. They haven't found the chance to go and make the aggression just yet.
Well, with the rotations coming in from the side of LGD.NBW, you do see how much priority they're using to really lock away Tanran from this favorable laning phase here. It's just a 1v2 constantly in the top side.
Yeah, and at the same time, look at what XI is doing for his jungler. So he's actually holding the wave there, which means that they get that gold sharing for the jungler, amplifying his gold and EXP as well. So LGD playing all the cards right in this early part of the game.
Very smart approacher coming in for the side of LGD here. So far, this is almost surmounting to a 1,000 gold lead in favor for LGD going into the 4th minute mark.
Look, level 7 for Hui. Right now, if JX or JC or 1DAO actually gets hounded by the side of LGD.NBW, that's going to spell a lot of disaster. So information across the gorge is going to be very important, which is why they're kind of standing in the river to make sure that they have knowledge of what the next rotation will be from the side of LGD.
And 4th minute mark is a crucial one because that is where Fox on this Haya actually generates so much value for the team here. The moment she steps into the river, it's really difficult for Hero to actually approach towards this Tyrant.
Yeah, especially if she gets her ultimate on the respective members, right? And bear in mind, that first blood is costing Hero quite a bit because you're meant to have that gold lead as a Cat Boom. Right now, JC will be able to find too much value.
Yeah, with the objective being started off here, that Tyrant is resetted here. But Moosegate Mirage does lock in clean on towards the flip side, allowing LGD to pick up this Tyrant with ease. But coming out from the Moosegate Mirage, he does get pounded with the multitude of damage here. Clean in no man's land, gets caught out with the final blow here. But jungle for jungle trader between LGD and also Hero.
Still a big win for the side of LGD. Right now, they have a little bit of a goal lead, and that kill actually went into the hands of YQ. So Clean does not get any big value across the gorge. Hui does have a level deficit against him, but in this matchup, you want to have the lead. You need to have the goal lead and EXP. So far, it's not happening for the side of Hero Esports. So we'll take a look at that. This is the whole plan of picking up the hire, right? So Jiwei actually getting his hands onto Clean. Number one, they secure that Tyrant buff for themselves. And this allows for the turnaround and to keep that aggression going for the side of LGD.
And you're also soft guaranteed a Hound coming in from Hui, where once you Moonscape Mirage someone, Hui can just leave the dog on the Moonscape Mirage, and then once he comes out, you will latch onto it and go for the finishing blow.
As well as Xhan, right? He actually put the Lupine trap there, so the wolves and the dogs were coming in. Hound and wolves, not an easy combination to deal with. Clean does have access to AoE damage, but in a lineup where LGD now has a 1000 goal lead, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, K9 access definitely needed for the side of Hero here. And big damage here coming in from Yao Dao, taking on SANGJIE in that farm lane here. 1 up for the side of Hero Esports for their farm lane.
Okay, so it is XJI, so I don't think it's too big of a problem for the side of LGD.NBW. For now, they still maintain this 1000 goal lead. But the pressure putting across the map, this is where there are slight differences in the EXP growth. And nice rotations from the side of Hero. They're kind of trying to slow down the farm that LGD has access to.
The moment SANGJIE drops on the Dolia, you immediately notice the fact that, hey, that's one member down, will immediately punish you for dropping that kill here. So a lot of the priority and the momentum shifts immediately towards the side of Hero.
Alright, we'll take a look at how that actually happened here. A lot of confidence coming in, but the Destined Encounter, that one was the one that really made the biggest difference, along with the Laurel Bloom, the ultimate from Wandao coming in from the side of Hero.
Overheal, I would say, coming in for the side of Hero to really get themselves that play over to the side of LGD.NBW SANGJIE here. And with the teleportation coming from LGD, they do look themselves to get another turret on towards this bottom side here. No exchange coming in from Hero.
Not possible. But for the side of Hero, this also brings us to the point of White Cube, right? With the Destined Encounter, this will be a situation, if they can keep the farm close, there is a potential to out-heal the damage and out-sustain Hui on this Yangjian pick.
The Yangjian pick is an interesting one. So far, we haven't seen a Yangjian Dolia come to fruition here, but Fox getting bounced dangerously low, locked in towards the Moonscape Mirage here. The cavalry is slowly but surely coming over, but the kill does fall into the hands of Clean, forcing LGD to back off.
Yeah, but LGD, I don't think they care too much, right? They can get the life of Fox at this point, because look at what they have achieved with the help of Lore. Lore has actually taken down the T2 at the bottom side of the map. And we know about this in the trading department in terms of turrets. When you lose access to your T3s, that's when the game gets immensely harder.
And vision is not going to be recovered when you lose these towers. So that's another point of access coming in for that LGD to look for those big flanks.
Yeah, I don't think they really want to aggress over here. They do get the Destined Encounter onto Hui as well as XI, but not too much value because there's no more minion ways to work around. And LGD, they're pulling Hero all over the place. Lore is once again doing so much work. T2 should be guaranteed at this point. One more hit will do it, just a little bit shy.
But on the front side though, Hui does get chunked out really heavily on towards the Yangjian here. Has to use the second refresh on towards the Dolia to get some of the comfort back on the health bars.
Yeah, but still, very uncomfortable situation for Hero, right? Because every time LGD wants to make a split push with the help of Lore, they just start an exchange. They're not even looking for the finishing blow on the fight.
They're just going for these turrets, going for the objectives that won't be respawning on towards the Gorge. As you can see, Tanran teleporting towards the mid lane here, wanting to contest for this Tyrant.
Yeah, and Fox is just hanging around, right? He needs to find that. Oh, nice steal!
Yeah, crucial steal coming in for a side of Clean here as the fight does erupt here. Hui going dangerously low, but the first victim to fall will be Clean on that Floorborn tank. Immediate disengage coming in from Hero Esports as once again, LGD.NBW, they come in unscathed and they take a kill on top of you.
Yeah, benefit of super sustained comp, right? You have the extra life by Lure, you also have the double out by Hui, so there's always this constant barrage of not just damage, but also survivability coming in from the side of LGD.NBW, playing exactly to their strengths. And it's only going to get harder because the turrets are starting to fall. One more push on their top side, it should be a guaranteed T2 as well for LGD.
And not the exactly easiest of the team compositions that has been drafted by the side of Hero here. Hero's draft, I would say, is pretty difficult to actually execute.
Yeah, because the whole point of Hero's draft here is to be able to poke you from range, right? And only when you're low do they get to choose and pick and go for the engage. But so far, LGD is not allowing that. They are actually forcing the fights and being put in a position where Hero are forced to fight when they don't have the best position.
Yeah, Hounded stealing away the Crimson Golem here. On towards the cross side though, Lore does get forced out, but goes in with the final frenzy here, pushing back any form of reinforcements from the side of Hero here. LGD, they do once again pick up another buff for their own taking, and right now, with the clock hitting the 10-minute mark, this is the Shadow Tyrant available for the contention.
Yeah, very clear that LGD will not force this Tyrant. They will wait for it to reset because on the top side, Lure is trying to help himself towards the Crimson buff. Now he has it. LGD will look for an opening. This one then depends on the position of Tanran. We have been waiting for this guy to make a move. He has not done a single one just yet.
He's slowly but surely farming out to these key items here, with Fox marking Tanran on his potential flank here. We do see the Tyrant being started off from the side of LGD.
Yeah, they are looking for an opening here. If they stop clean, this is going to be a guaranteed steal for the side of LGD.
Yeah, hang on a moment though, this encounter does come true. The smite goes over to Hui in this smite war here as the member locking in towards the ultimate here gets taken down. Liao down, first of all, following will be clean on this attempt here as it is an absolute massacre for Hero Esports here as the first of all coming in from LGD will be Lore, but the damage has already been done. Tyrant and 4 kills into the pockets of LGD.NBW Gaming.
Yeah, beautiful calculated move, right? The price of Lore's life for 4 different members on the side of Hero. And YQ cannot defend this. He does not have wave clear. He does not have damage. So LGD making all the right moves, one correct choice. And this draft really too strong and too much sustain to deal with.
And they are also knocking on towards this tier 3 right now. Tier 3 teamfight win, buffs for the buffet here. Everything is going in control for LGD in this game. Was super duper clean by LGD.
Yeah, and this is where you get to see, right? The goal difference makes so big of a difficulty for the side of Hero. Because if they were on equal terms in terms of itemization, in terms of levels, the Destined encounter by YQ would have made a big difference in that team fight. But because there's a huge gap in gold and EXP, LGD are able to take a lot more than what Hero can offer.
And right now, with the lead generated by the side of LGD.NBW, they're looking to pick up yet another objective for their own taking here. And with this Shadow Overlord, they will be looking for more of these outer turrets against Hero Esports.
And this is a very concerning position. I think LGD, they'll be looking for the flanks coming in from the sides, right? With that super minion wave coming in the middle. Now, Hero, there's a lot of Hog of War on the side lanes. They have to be really careful about how they position themselves.
And the Shadow Overlord has been spawned towards the bottom lane here. So that will be another point of contention coming in for the side of LGD in potentially closing off the game with that final push here. It really is down to Hero on how well they can play the defensive game.
It's how many shots do you not take from Xhan, right? A lot of damage on this channel is seeing value because he has been getting those jump shots onto members like JC, and it's pretty hurtful. In the meantime, Lore is just trying to burn down any common spells they can. With the Shadow Overlord approaching the base, they do make the dive. Hui looking for an opening.
Yeah, Hui goes in with the Hound here, but it's still a bit of a disengager coming in for the side of LGD here as they do look to reposition themselves over to this top tier 3.
Yeah, they did force out the big move here, and take a look at Hui. He is falling low, but they wasted YQ's ultimate, which means the defense cannot come through because it's too much of a risk. Hero will lose all T3s, and LGD now, this is a prime position for them.
Yeah, very clean stuff thus far coming in for the side of LGD here. Once they pick up all single tier 3s on towards the base of Hero Esports, now it's time for them to recuperate, pick up all the available buffs on towards the Gorge, and then set your sights once again on that Shadow Tyrant in that bottom river.
Yeah, I like this filtering and funneling of the Azure Golem buffs as well. They actually feed it to Lore as well. They want to get him that CDR plus mana regeneration. So far, Lore has been doing so well. Goes for a hybrid build here. Not only can he offer damage, he is able to soak so much for the side of LGD as well.
And take a look towards the mid side here. They're fighting a lot for the river control here. Clean does push away Lore from that bush here, but with minion waves crashing in from all 3 waves here, I don't think Hero Esports can actually look to contest this Shadow Tyrant.
Yeah, they actually used the Howling Wind. They were trying to get the flank, but here is the true flank. Take a look at what Lore is doing now. They now have the Tyrant. They can flank around.
Hui goes in with the Hound here, does force out the flash on towards Yao Dao here, with Luo being on the forefront here, has to pop the final frenzy here, but where are you going, Clean? That is not your base here, being caught out in his own jungle here. This will be a 4v5 in favor of LGD for the next 35 seconds.
And this is the value of lore. We're talking about the value of the clash laners. Lore shows you why it's so important to be able to pull attention away. Clean needed the help of his teammates, did not come. And now with the help by XI, they should be able to get not just the heals, but the resets coming in. The heals will be available waiting for usage.
And flash engage coming in from Fox, does not get the Moonscape Mirage, gets dodged out by side of White Q here. So still a bit of a breathing room. 10 seconds until Clean actually comes back alive here. Lore blocking in front, getting the rotation needed for the side of LGD to get that final crystal push in this game number 1 of the best of 5.
Yep, different class. I think this game number 1 has shown you the pacing that's available by the side of LGD.NBW, and it's just a little bit too quick for Hero Esports to deal with.